I'd like to talk to you today about people with strong personal brands. You will have noticed people and they have one defining behavior that you recognize. It's a very strong personal way they behave, or really the way they are. And it has brought them great success. But as they go on in their career, or as you go on in your career and you find yourself in difficulty, it could be that this one defining behavior has begun as you overuse it to derail you. So I want to talk to you about the whole concept of you having a brand that you could be derailing by a particular behavior. I'd like to do this by talking to you about a couple of behaviors and giving you some examples. So the kind of behaviors we're talking about are perfectionism, or we're talking about aggressiveness, we're talking about workaholic behavior, or perfectionism. So I've worked with people over the years, and these are almost a quintessential picture of each of those behaviors. There are, of course, very many behaviors, but I'm wondering if you might recognize one of these. So let's talk about perfectionist Peter. So for Peter, he has been working away in his career. He's always attended to detail. He's worked very hard, followed up on everything, never let anything go to print or go through the accounts without finding the last thing that was wrong. But what's happening now? Got to a point in your career where you now need to take on a bigger picture, you need to be more a dynamic person, and you're still caught in the detail. So perfectionist Peter begins to derail because people won't give him big projects because they know he'll get lost in the detail. So then take workaholic Wendy. Now workaholic Wendy has worked all her life, has driven herself and driven the people around her, and has been a results person. Never goes home, never lets anybody else go home, and delivers results. She has been a wonderful employee because she gets results. But now facing into becoming a director, for example, and being put in charge of a lot of people, there's a worry, there's a derailer, because she's too hard on herself and too hard on people. She can't delegate, she can't let people go home. She really has become a very difficult employee, a very difficult boss. And this stops Wendy being promoted. So what about then Bossy Bill? Well, Bossy Bill has always said all along that what you see is what you get. And I say to people when they say that to me, and how is that going for you? Because what usually happens is up to a certain point in your career, you can be direct. You are not really in charge of lots of people, so you can say what you want as you want. You don't really have to think about your behavior or what people think of you or your effect on them. But then again, it's the same story. You come to a point in your career where you're about to be promoted, or people are deciding, are you promotion ready? And what happens? They say, don't think I can get Bossy Bill to be in charge of all those people over there. They won't be able for him. He will not be able. He doesn't have the flexibility. He doesn't have the nuance to lead people. And so, very dominant, very outspoken, very clear, Bill is now in difficulty. He has derailed. The exact opposite of the workaholic person and the exact opposite of the bossy person is the people pleaser. So you might think of people pleasing Penny. What happens to people pleasing Penny? Well, all along she has been very good. She's thought of other people. She's got this personal brand of being collegiate, of being able to get on with people, of building the team, of getting everybody on the team to cooperate. But what happens to Penny when she's about to be made the team leader and she's going to have to make hard decisions? She's going to have to make people work overtime. She's going to have to cut their salaries or even let them go. What's actually going to happen to her? Well, the overuse of the people-pleasing behaviours is going to cause her to derail. So this whole idea of people-pleasing, being bossy, being a perfectionist, can serve you very well in the early stages of your career. But when you meet and reach a career crossroads what happens is you can derail. So I'd like you to read the chapter in my book, Your Brand, and it goes into very many more behaviours, and I hope that you will recognise yourself in one of these and find this useful.